Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
Wake up every morning at 3 a.m. Cause that's when I start my grind in. And I got no time for stumbling and chit chat talk with the fake friends. I'm on my grind, yeah. I'm on my grind. You need to drive, I'm on my grind.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. Welcome to today's Kingdom Business Builder with Clay Clark. All right, we're going to be on with Clay just a half second. First is update chronology, combining the effectiveness of whole spectrum CBD. This is my go-to. Buy one, get one free shipping. It's what I use every night. Also, they have the Cowboy Up brand as well for your animals. Boaz, our bull in Texas, was healed remarkably because of Cowboy Up. All right, Purely Prepared Patriot. No prescription needed. Hydroxychloroquine, Fenben, ivermectin, 40% off. Go ahead and get it today. Use the QR code, 40% off. No prescription. Stock up on your ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. My Pillow. I'm going to be with Mike Lindell this afternoon, so please support Mike. He's a great patriot and Christian. He's put it all on the line. As you know, they've gone after him financially so much. So help Mike out. Use his promo code, His Glory. Also, Luxury for a Cause. Donate your high-end items to support His Glory Ministry. Mission to reach 1 billion souls for Jesus Christ. We're accepting high-end bags, jewelry, clothing, etc. If you feel the tug in your heart to donate, go to hisglory.me, donate, or scan the QR code today. Those are all our updates. It's time for Clay Clark.
Super Dave, how are you, sir?
Clay, good to see you again, my friend.
Hey, I know we have a little bit of a delay today, but I want to make sure everybody knows this. Mike Lindell is somebody you want to put on your prayer list. Mike has through the Reawaken Tour and so many events where you and I interacted with Mike. Mike has just been a wonderful patriot. He's been doing his very best to put out the facts and the truth related to all these issues plaguing our nation. And again, I encourage everybody out there, if you can support Mike Lindell in any way, shape, or form, do that. He is a great, hardworking patriot. But on today's show, Dave, what we're talking about is this idea of, if you're watching today's show, do you believe that every day is a gift from God and what you do with it is a gift to God? Do you believe that? Do you? And Dave, I think if we're not careful, because we're so busy, whether it's recording a show or running a business or buying pillows, selling pillows, attending things, if we're not careful, we start to treat every day as something less than a gift from God. And I want to get your thoughts, because you came from corporate America. And you did very well in corporate America, but you know what it's like when you run into somebody in the elevator and you say, "How are you?" And they go, "It's the Mondays." Or, "How are you?" "It's hump day. It's Wednesday." "How are you?" "Thank the Lord, it's the weekend." And you start to see a pattern of people no longer having a reverence for every day being a gift. I want to get your thoughts on that, Dave. How do we go from being excited about life to just sort of getting to a place where we don't cherish every day as a gift from God?
Because it lacks the passion, the purpose. And in corporate America, you could have been a commercial for AT&T by just saying that. It's low energy. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Friday. It was always whoa, instead of looking at it as a gift from God and having that passion.
So step number one, we're going to walk everybody through 5 steps today to turn this year into your best year yet. All right. So step number 1, Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich. By the way, it was a great book, Think and Grow Rich. But if he ever says anything in that book that goes against the Bible, go with the Bible. All right. It was just a man writing self-help moves. And again, if it ever contradicts the Bible, go with the Bible. But Napoleon Hill once said, action is the real measure of intelligence. Action is the real measure of intelligence. Proverbs 10:4, the Bible tells us God blesses the hand of the diligent and punishes the slacker. It's the same thing. What am I saying? You have to determine right now you're going to be a person of action. And so I want to showcase, I've got a video ready to go here. I'm going to pull this up real quick so your listeners can see. This is a real listener, a real person, a real man who we've helped to grow his business a lot. More than doubled his company. It's called NWA Gutter Perfection. So, Dave, when a lot of people think about getting rich, they might not think about gutters, but here we go, folks. Well, Carter, we have an opportunity here at the Thrive Time Show to work with some really great business owners, people that are actually serious about growing their company. They go to thrivetimeshow.com and they reach out to schedule a free 13-point assessment. And oftentimes I hop on the phone with these folks and we figure out if they're a good fit. And once we start working with a client, our goal is to help the client to actually grow their actual business. And on today's show, we're joined with a man who we've had the opportunity to work with. The company's called NWA Gutter Perfection. And my understanding, Carter, is that they're up over 60%. Is that right?
I would say that's correct, yes.
DJ, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing, Clay?
Now, look at him, Dave. I don't know that a lot of people, they think about the path to becoming super successful involving gutters. But I want everybody out there to know that is a great way to get wealthy, is repairing gutters, replacing gutters, fixing gutters. And when you look at that gentleman, DJ, great guy. I don't know if some people think that he's too impressive or not impressive enough or too average or too great, but this is a real person that was really watching a show just like this, Dave, who said, you know what? That crazy pale male, Clay Clark, said that action is the real measure of intelligence. And I'm not going to be an idiot, and I'm going to take action. And so he went to thrivetimeshow.com. He went to thrivetimeshow.com, and he came to a conference. We have business conferences featuring Eric Trump, President Trump's son. We have business conferences featuring Tim Tebow. He went to thrivetimeshow.com. He bought a ticket, thrivetimeshow.com. They're $250 or whatever price you want to pay. Dave, he took action, and as of the time of that recording, he'd grown his company by 60% in a little over half a year. And I'm proud to say he's now nearly tripled his company. And someone says, what's the name of that company again? It's called NWA Gutter Perfection. So it's Northwest Arkansas, gutterperfection.com. And I just want to get your thoughts on that, Dave. What is it that keeps somebody thinking that they don't qualify to be the next success story? Here's a normal guy who, he hasn't been a self-employed person previous to this venture, and he just decided to pull the trigger and get a ticket, and then somebody won't get a ticket. Well, what is it, Dave, that makes somebody think that they can do it and somebody else saying, I don't know if I can do it?
Sometimes it's I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they want to take massive action. And something like gutters is something that people don't want to do. It's not a glamorous job, but it's a need, and you look for the need to fulfill it, and that's where there's a lot of growth in those type of businesses.
Now, step number two is, again, you have to find a problem. So once you decide, step number one, once you decide to become a person of action, step number two, you have to find a problem, like you just said, Dave. And it might not seem like the most exciting thing ever, but you have to find a problem. And let me tell you, folks, there is an abundance of problems. Oh, there is an abundance of problems. Let me just give you an example. I stayed at a Trump resort a while back, and the bellman who worked there was so attentive and so sharp. Dave, this guy wouldn't let you pick up a bag without saying, "Sir, can I help you with your bags?" Dave, my wife and I were talking about, hey, this afternoon I might want to go here. I might want to go here. And he could tell we were looking at the itinerary for things to do. He walks up to me and says, "Sir, are you looking for some fun activities for this afternoon? If you need help, I'm here for you." Dave, this guy gave us a full tour of the entire facility. He said to me, Dave, he said, "Sir, would you like a tour of the facility? Would you like to know the history?" And I'm going, I would like to know the history. Dave, this guy won me over with such enthusiasm and with such a burning, fiery passion of customer service. His name is Jim, by the way, Jim, Jim. He works for the Trump organization. Dave, I couldn't help but tip that guy because he was looking for problems. I mean, I noticed that if somebody would drop something, he'd pick it up. Dave, this guy would offer you rides from A to B. And again, it might not seem glamorous to be a bellman or a gutter guy, or in my case, I'm a business consultant. I don't care what industry it is. It might not seem like it's that exciting, but you have to have step number one is you decide to become a person of action. Step number two, you have to find problems and be willing to solve the problems. Dave, I find so many people, especially in corporate America, they're willing to point out a problem, but not solve the problem. Why is that, Dave?
You'll have to set up 5 meetings to figure out that question, Clay. It's meeting after meeting. You just spin your head, and it's just a circle. It's a hamster and a wheel is all it is.
Now, step number 3, folks, you have to then present a solution like we talked about. So someone says, I'm looking to grow my company. The problem I noticed years ago is I had built a very successful company, djconnection.com. I built another successful company called epicphotos.com. I built another successful company called Elephant in the Room, Men's Grooming Lounge. I helped scale a carpet cleaning company called oxyfresh.com. We have over 450 locations now, on the verge of 500 locations. And people kept saying, Clay, can I pick your brain? And so 20 years ago, I started going, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a business conference 4 times a year, and I'm going to teach people how to grow a business. Because you know what? I know how to do that, and I'm going to teach them how to do it. So from 7 a.m. to 5, 2 days, so it's 10 hours each day, I teach people how to start and grow successful companies. And I've done it so long and so consistently that over time, people come back and bring friends. And now we have people like Eric Trump coming to the conference. We have people like Julie Green coming to the conference. People like yourself coming to the conference. People like Amanda Grace coming to the conference. People like Tim Tebow coming to the conference. People like Alina Habba coming to the conference. And if you want to join the conference, just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Thrivetimeshow.com. We have September 25 and 26 coming up here. September 25 and 26. It's $250 or whatever price you can afford. But again, what's the problem we solve? We help entrepreneurs to get unstuck. So step number 1, determine to be a person of action. Step number 2, make a list of problems that you can solve. Step number 3, make a list of solutions that you can provide. And we come back from the break, we'll break down the other steps. But I encourage everybody right now as we head into the break, go to thrivetimeshow.com and click on the testimonials button. And on the testimonials button, there are over 2,000 success stories. Over 2,000 success stories you can watch during the break right there at thrivetimeshow.com.
There's nothing we wouldn't do for our pets. They're like our children. Our friends at Pet Club 24/7 have developed natural products that contain the most potent strain of a mushroom that's been used for thousands of years to help support the immune system. So visit their website today to discover how they're changing the way that pets and their parents are being treated for the better.
President Trump has a bold new vision to help secure America's future through the power of cryptocurrency. Partnering with pioneers like Elon Musk, he's turning crypto into the next frontier of financial freedom. But how can you advance your retirement in this digital age? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the world's first AI-driven platform designed to help your cryptocurrency investments thrive. Thousands of retirees nationwide are already securing their futures with Block Trust IRA and receive up to $2,500 in funding bonuses. The experts in accelerating wealth retirement.
All right, we are back with America's business coach, Clay Clark.
So, Dave, again, as we're talking about these 5 steps to get unstuck, we say, well, why are we talking about business on this broadcast? What happens is your ability to earn money just allows you to give more, to donate more. And I just want to take a second to thank all the His Glory listeners out there that go to hisglory.me and donate something. And Dave, I discovered you years ago because right during the peak of the lockdown craziness, a lot of pastors that I had trusted or had gone to their churches or I had invested in their ministry, they locked down and they wouldn't talk about the issues plaguing our nation. And I found this program called His Glory, which is your broadcast here. And it was on the air. It was on YouTube. Back in the day, it was on YouTube, and I watched you, and I was taking notes, and I'm going, here's a guy who is sharing the gospel as it relates to current events. And that's how I connected to you. But if nobody had donated or hadn't supported your sponsors, your broadcast wouldn't be on the air. And nobody can donate or support your broadcast if they don't have a job or an income. So if you're watching today's show, I want you to do well financially because that's going to allow you, money's a magnifier. It's going to allow you to give more, to tithe more, to get involved more, and to build a kingdom building business. So we move on to step number 1 again. You want to become a person of action. Step number 2, make a list of problems that you can solve. Step number 3, solve those problems. Step number 4, this is the part where so many people get hung up on. They get hung up on selling the solution. And we'll talk more about this in the coming weeks, but sales is simply asking if somebody is willing to give you a certificate of appreciation in exchange for the product or service you're providing. Is a person willing to give you a certificate of appreciation in exchange for the product or service that you're providing? So we go to the gutter business. When I'm working with this guy's gutter company, one of the things I found is from a pricing model, his pricing model wasn't sustainable. Does that mean that the client wasn't smart? No. Does that mean that the client isn't good at math? No. It just means that we looked at the accounting side of the company and we discovered, wow, your unit economics or your numbers, every time you sell a gutter solution, you're not making enough profit to ever financially achieve your goals. So in order to do that, we're going to have to solve more problems for more people and raise the price. And that's a hard thing for some people to do. And trust me, I know the feeling. That's why we make our tickets $250 or whatever price you can afford. Because I know that you want to help people out there. If you're watching today's show, you want to help people out. I know you do. However, you've got to have this unique relationship with money where you understand that you're going to have to bring in more money than you're spending, unless you're the government, to be financially solvent. And Dave, I see a lot of people, Christians in business, that sometimes get stuck feeling like they're being mean by balancing the budget. And I want to get your thoughts because you've been in corporate America where nobody in that room is thinking about the well-being of other humans. And then you've been in the room of ministries where everybody's thinking about everybody's well-being and no one's thinking about the budget. How do you as a Christian leader try to balance that in your mind?
Well, that's the key word is balance. You got to have balance because if you're too wrapped up and not worrying about the expenses that'll eat you alive, and then if you're too, the reverse will happen too. You hit two extremes in the ministry. It is to help people. In the corporate America, every detail, every penny is accounted for.
So once you start to sell something, what you have to do now, folks, is you have to nail it and scale it. Nail it and scale it. So let me just give you the listeners an example of a checklist. We're going to make a checklist right now for the His Glory broadcast, because this is a very real example of a checklist that everyone can relate to because you're watching today's show. Every show that His Glory does, whether it's a good show or a bad show, whether you like it or not, it has to be saved somewhere. So step one, how do you name files? I have gone to organizations who I love very much, who no one can find the business cards. This is a true story. I was working with the church years ago, and the pastor needed business cards for an urgent event he was going to. He needed to print more business cards. And I said, well, let's get them. And he says, I'm going to. And the next day I follow up, did we get the cards? He says, I can't find the cards. It's frustrating. The other design company we had used, we can't find the cards. I can't find the cards. What's happening is the previous graphic designer who he had employed, there wasn't an agreed upon nomenclature. There wasn't an agreed upon way to save things. So the business cards were labeled as BC in his Dropbox folder. So the only way that he would ever have found his business cards, which he never did, by the way, would be to search BC. Well, how many people, when they think of a business card, would search BC? So step number one, you have to have an agreed upon nomenclature. How do you save things? So this show, however the show will be titled on today's show, whether it's up on the website or on the His Glory app or it's on rumble.com, you have to title something and name it properly, and everybody has to agree upon the common language. Okay? Because you can't build an organization if you're not organized. So we have to make sure we agree on how we're going to name files. All right? Step number two, there has to be a thumbnail. This video, again, as good or as bad as you might think it is, it needs a thumbnail. And a thumbnail is like a preview of what the show is going to be about. Right? Then somebody has to upload it, to Rumble, to X, to the app, to the website, to wherever else this broadcast goes. I mean, it is everywhere. And so somebody has to do that. And Dave, if we're not careful as we begin to grow, whether it's His Glory or the Gutter Company or a haircut chain or my entertainment DJ company, Pre-Christ, DJConnection.com, if you're not careful, Dave, and if you don't start to fastidiously name files a certain way, and again, going back to your corporate America days, what can happen when you're in a room with a bunch of executives or a bunch of people on your team and nobody can find the invoice or the passwords or what happens, Dave, when somebody is not organized and they're trying to build an organization?
Oh, it's not pretty. If you walk into an executive meeting, especially if you have the CEO there of AT&T and you're not prepared, you don't, whether you're marketing, whether you're sales, whatever it be, you have to be tip top, dotting your I and crossing your T. If not, you may not be around. That might be your last meeting.
This is true. This is true. Now, again, I'm just walking people through how to build a checklist, okay? So you have to agree on the nomenclature. We got to make a thumbnail. We got to make a title tag. We have to go ahead and agree on where we're going to upload it. So you have a checklist of all the places we're going to upload this broadcast to. And then we'll skip a lot of steps there, but I'm just trying to give the idea here. You have to measure what you treasure. And there are people that work in my office, and Dave, you've met some of them, that make calls for me. They make calls, and they are great people. And there are some people that make calls for me that are really good at making calls, and some people that need to get a little bit better. There's somebody out there that's doing a great job, and there's somebody that's needing to get a little bit better. And how do you even know if you don't track? Now, this idea would be asinine within sports. Think about this for a second. If you were playing in the NBA Finals and there's a quick timeout on the court here, timeout. Folks, we'll be back after the commercial break. You're watching, you're live in person. They have a commercial break. They bring in all the cheerleaders. They bring out the T-shirt cannon. And then they look at the score, and the coach says, guys, if you look at that scoreboard, you know what that says? And the point guard says, it doesn't have any numbers up there, sir. And the coach would say, what? He said, apparently we're not keeping score today. That would be a weird NBA Finals. Think about that for a second. Imagine you were watching a football game and your Kansas City Chiefs were going head to head with the New England Patriots. Your Seahawks are going against the Cowboys or whatever team it is. And they are fighting back and forth, but no one knows if there's a first down, how many downs we have, are we winning, are we losing, what's the score? And furthermore, no one cares what the score is. And I'm just telling you, you have to measure what you treasure, because by default, you will slack where you do not track. And I'm going to give the listeners a fun example. Years ago, this is about 3.5 years ago, I was messing with Dr. Sherwood on one of my shows. Dr. Sherwood, one of your great sponsors. And I was messing with Dr. Sherwood, Sherwood.tv, and he made a comment about his Kingdom fuel and how great it was. And I made a comment. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm just that kind of guy. I'm going to only eat your product for 30 days, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to only, because remember that when COVID, there was a big debate about, is this healthy? Is it not? Should we eat that? What's in our food? What's in the shots? There's a lot of fear, and everyone was getting to know each other. People didn't quite know Dr. Sherwood yet. My listeners didn't know him quite yet. And so I made this crazy, I hopped on the show and I said, Dr. Sherwood, I tell you what, I know a lot of people are concerned about your Kingdom Fuel products. My wife and my kids eat it all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit right here on this broadcast to only eating Kingdom Fuel for 30 days. And let me tell you, I like the product, but that was kind of a rough 30 days. But I'm tracking on my tracking sheet every day, day 1, day 2, day 3. Around day 4, I thought, I'm going to just start tracking my weight on the day. By the end of 30 days, I had dropped like 20 pounds in 30 days by just only eating the Kingdom Fuel products. And people were saying, Clay, are you okay? You look like you're losing a lot of weight. And I'm like, I got 10 more days. I'm on, but again, you just measure what you treasure and you slack where you don't track. And even though that example was kind of funny at my expense, everybody out there, we've got to measure what we treasure. And so if you're watching today's show and you say, you know what, I need help with my branding, my marketing, my sales, my accounting, my workflow, everything, my mindset, and I need 20 hours of training over 2 days, go to thrivetimeshow.com right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Eric Trump, President Trump's son, he's joining us. And I don't know if people know this. I think we have about 2 minutes left on today's broadcast. But Eric Trump, he runs the Trump Organization, Dave. I mean, they have over 5,000 employees. It's a multi-billion-dollar organization. And Eric Trump is the man who manages it. Think about this. This is the man who leads the organization. This is the man who looks at the profit and loss. This is not a charlatan face and an empty, hollow head that faux endorses something. This is a real guy who really does run the organization with his name on it while his dad is trying to save the free world. So if you're out there today and you say, I want to learn it, how does Eric Trump create a cryptocurrency, a smartphone, and run a organization? If you want to learn time management in a profound way, go to thrivetimeshow.com September 25 and 26. And for anybody that uses promo code His Glory, you have a chance to win a backstage pass. Back to you, Dave.
Yeah, and I was telling you a story, Clay, about President Trump at Mar-a-Lago, just the inspection and the detail that the Trumps have. And you mentioned their employees. Their employees all love working for them because they're hands-on, they're meticulous, they know how to scale it, they know how to give a great presentation in everything they do. And if everybody did that in their business and measured it, they would be able to, we'd get to 1 billion souls because we could be able to fuel the kingdom appropriately. So, and Kingdom Fuel, when's the time you're going back on it again?
I tell you what, Dave, because you're asking me, what do we do? Today is June 24th. Okay. So let's say between June 24th and July 24th, I'm eating only Kingdom Fuel. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. I'm doing it right now. I'm putting it on the thing. And I see you every week. So every week you're going to see me evaporating. So I'll start that today and I'll stay hardcore on that until July 24th. If you painted me into a corner, I've committed between June 24th and July 24th. I'm eating only Kingdom Fuel. May God bless my soul. Thank you, Dave.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called DJconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and people that parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 in the morning. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. This is The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology you tell your group. I was so impressed because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay, and what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to 100% growth. We're like a full functioning company. It's great. We're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls. We've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? You know, what level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time, and he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive, but I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. It's he keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something, and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or what was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business? Or was that something that you were maybe excited about or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're going to fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.